All right, welcome. Today we're diving into a topic that is completely changing the game for risk and efficiency in banking: modern data governance. And let me be clear, this isn't just about some minor process improvement. It's really about survival in a regulatory world that's getting more complex by the day.
So let's just kick things off with a number that should really make you sit up and pay attention. $5.5 billion. That's how much U.S. banks have been fined for non-compliance in just the last few years.
And look, this isn't just about a check you write to the government. Every single one of those fines is a direct hit to a bank's reputation, to its shareholder value. In this environment, getting data governance wrong, well, it's become nothing short of an existential risk. So, the big question is, why is this happening on such a massive scale? Well, it's because most banks are completely stuck in what we can only call the governance trap.
You see, the very foundation of how we approach data governance is fundamentally broken. The model we're all used to isn't just a little inefficient, it's actively creating systemic risk, leaving institutions totally vulnerable and constantly exposed. And this chart, wow, it just lays the crisis out in the starkest terms possible. A staggering 90% of data and risk functions are failing to deliver. I mean, just think about that for a second. 9 out of every 10 programs aren't working. This is not a small problem. It is a full-blown systemic failure. And this failure is being driven by what is really a perfect storm. You've got regulations that are just exploding, things like BCBS 239 and the new EU AI Act, and they're all demanding more and more transparency. At the same time, inside the bank, your teams are fragmented, siloed. And the whole thing is basically held together by manual processes, spreadsheets and email, which means you're under constant regulatory exposure.
Now you're probably thinking, okay, but isn't this what technology is for? Shouldn't our tools fix this? Well, here's the hard truth. The old tools are actually a huge part of the problem. They just weren't built for this reality.
And here's the real kicker. Generic platforms just can't handle the very specific, very demanding world of banking regulations. The tool that works for McDonald's is not the tool that can protect a global bank. So why on earth would we accept a one-size-fits-all approach for our most critical data? It just doesn't make sense.
This picture really shows you the heart of the problem, that core architectural flaw. Traditional governance is basically a bolt-on. It's applied after the fact. It tries to clean up the data after it's already moved through your systems. But by then, it's too late. The risks are already baked in.
So if that's the broken model, what's the alternative? Well, we need to completely flip the script. We need a fundamental shift in how we think, a move away from just observing data to proactively certifying it. This is what we call certification-driven governance, and the idea is pretty simple, actually. Instead of just cataloging data and watching it flow by, we embed the controls and the validation upstream, right where the data is born, inside the code and the workflows themselves. The goal is to certify the data before it ever moves, creating proof, real regulator-grade assurance from the very beginning.
Honestly, you can think of it just like a seal of approval for your data. This new model makes your data defensible. It gives you a single, unified, and certified view of your critical information that everyone, management, auditors, and even regulators, can actually depend on.
Okay, that's the big idea. But what does this actually look like for your teams, day to day? Let's get practical and break down the transformation by comparing the old, manual way with this new, certified approach.
I mean, just look at the contrast here. The old way is all manual, it's reactive, it's slow. We're talking spreadsheets for data lineage, checks that happen way too late. It's a recipe for human error. The new way? It's automated and it's continuous. Instead of people chasing down bad data, the system enforces the logic from the very start. It makes the entire process faster, way more reliable, and infinitely more scalable.
Now, this massive operational shift doesn't just change your processes. It leads to a complete evolution for your most valuable asset, your people.
We are moving toward a future that's human-led but agent-orchestrated. In this model, AI governance agents basically act as digital colleagues. They augment your teams. They handle all the repetitive, high-volume stuff, which frees up your human experts to focus on strategy and oversight, scaling their impact exponentially.
And when you actually look at the numbers, the financial and operational impact is just undeniable. An AI agent is available 24/7, 365. It delivers 10 times the output of a person, it has zero churn, and when you look at the effective hourly rate, it plummets, while your precision and consistency just skyrocket.
So what does all this translate to in the real world? First off, an 85% reduction in those manual, repetitive tasks that are bogging down your governance and compliance teams right now. That is a huge win right out of the gate.
And that efficiency gain isn't just a percentage on a slide. It translates directly to your people. We're talking about freeing up 20 to 30 full-time employees from low-value work so you can redeploy them to strategic projects that actually grow the business.
And the bottom line impact? A direct savings of $2 to $3 million in annual operational costs. This is the proof that modern data governance isn't just a compliance headache, it's a powerful engine for enterprise efficiency.
So, we end with the question that every single leader should be asking themselves right now. In today's regulatory world, is your data a liability or is it a certified asset? Is it going to be a source of constant risk? Or is it going to be the trusted foundation that powers your future? The choice, ultimately, is yours.